Hi friends, welcome. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping in. Happy New Year. I hope you had a fantastic New Year. I hope that you got to spend it with family and friends. And I tell you friends, I hope for you that 2023 is the happiest year ever. I hope that all the things that have been bothering you figure themselves out, the things that you want come to fruition, and I just want the absolute best for you. So today we are going to do a project. I am doing a Valentine's Day badge reel. This turned out so cute. I used an acrylic blank and I used some confetti pieces in here. The hearts are from Dollar Tree from years back. I've been using the same bag for a while. I'll be using the same bag probably till the end of time. There's so much in it, but they do have it every year. And then I used my Cricut to make a decal for the little L there. And of course I filled out the little button front and back with some glitter. I used my Resin Rocker UV glitter for this. But the big thing on this one, so I had a thought, and what I was wanting to find out, does if you wanted to paint the back of your acrylic, right? So you know how a lot of people like to do keychains or phone grips or badge reels, whatever, with like a paint splash in the back. So some people like to use paint, some people use vinyl that they cut it out to look like a paint splash. Lots of different ways that you can do that. So my thought was, can you use the gel nail polish, since it's basically UV resin, and do like your paint splash on the back of that, or basically just paint some of your items with that gel polish, because then you could put it under the light, have it dry immediately. So that's what I was doing with this. Now I will tell you right now, you're not really gonna see it. Like from the back, you can probably see it, but when I'm making this, you'll see it. I ended up, I put some glitter over the top. I put a little bit more glitter than I wanted to. So up close, you can still see the gray coming through, but you're not gonna probably be able to see it right now on the camera, but you'll be able to see it when I'm making it. And so I did the gel nail polish and it worked. It works really well. Now, gel nail polish is meant, you put really thin coats on your nails and then you put it in for like a minute, whatever. So because I was doing a little bit thicker coats on this, it did take a little bit more time underneath it. I think that probably the key is super fine coats, maybe 4 of them, and then under at a minute at a time. I ended up doing 2 and I made them thicker than I probably should have, but all in all, I think it was probably about 10 minutes underneath for it to dry, but it's still really good. You could put it in, walk away, and it's done. And then honestly, I didn't have to, of course it got UV on it because I put UV to hold on my badge reel, but I really didn't have to cover it. So I think that there's probably a lot of options, especially if you don't really use UV resin so much, but maybe you would like to have a little bit of that UV painted or gel coloring on maybe some pieces that you're making. I think that it might be a good option. Now the one that I used, I did buy from Amazon, and I'm going to pick up some of the Dollar Tree stuff and see if it works. I don't know if the Dollar Tree gel, nail polish works for anything or not, but I am gonna pick some up and see. Anyways, this is my project. It turned out so cute. I love it. And I love Valentine's Day. Even if, honestly, even if I'm not going out for Valentine's Day or have somebody like sending me stuff for Valentine's Day. Like, I like the idea of it. I like the colors that go along with it. And I like the idea of celebrating love. It could be love for your pets, your kids, your family, your friends. I don't think that it necessarily, needs to be a romantic love, especially when you realize where Valentine's Day actually came from. But, I think with the holidays, we tend to take something and then we use it as a symbolistic time to, enjoy certain things. And I like the idea of celebrating people that we love. So I personally love Valentine's Day. Single, married, or indifferent, I really like it. Anyways, so this is my first video of 2023. So again, Happy New Year. And you just don't know. I wish so many amazing good things for you guys. Don't mind my hat where after I do this, I'm leaving to go meet my daughter, take my little grandsons to the park. And my daughter said that my grandson wants to go to the park and bring popsicles for all the kids that might be there that want a popsicle. So there's that. Let's see what else. So today is also, January 2nd, today is also National Introvert Day. So I consider myself like an extroverted introvert. So I do well in social situations. I'm not super clumsy by any means in social situations. However, I do have a preference for solo time. So I consider myself an extroverted introvert. And it says that 1/3 of the world's people are introverts. So, well, then that would be 2/3 are extroverts. Duh. So, but anyways, sometimes my brain can be a little bit slow, especially when I work too much. But so 1/3 of people are introverts. So I want to know, what are you? Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Or like me, an extroverted introvert? Or an introverted extrovert? Like, that could be a thing too. I mean, really, right? So anyways, listen, friends, again, have the best day ever. And I hope everything's amazing for you. Again, here's my project. Stay tuned and we will make it together, and have a fantastic rest of the day. I'll see you later. Bye. All right, friends, so we are going to make a Valentine's Day badge reel. Now, what I was thinking, I wanted to see, I know a lot of people like to use these round acrylic blanks, and they use them, they put like monograms on them, they make keychains, you can make phone grip, badge reel, whatever. And they use paint. Now, some people will cut it out in using a decal with like their Cricut. So they'll use like a piece of vinyl, and then you still have to like go over that with like your UV resin, whatever. So I was thinking, and then sometimes, of course, people use it with paint more often. So what I was thinking is, can you use UV nail polish? So gel nail polish. Could you use that and do the same effect, with like a little bit less steps or process or whatever? Now, my rounds came from Amazon, and I bought them quite a bit ago. If I can find them, I'll link them. And I got this from Amazon too. I got a little kit. So I wanted like a gray and red for this. So it's Model 1's gel polish. I've never used it before, so we're going to use it together. If it works, I'll link it. Now I have this confetti. So this heart confetti is from the Dollar Tree, and I've been using this same bag for things for a couple years now because I don't need much at a time. I fold it up and then put it in my glitter drawer. So when I bought it, it was $1. Now it's $1.25. They have it every year, but you know, it's nice. Like I will probably use this for the next probably 10 years. There's so much in it. And then I have my badge reel. I'm just going to take my little Cricut tool here and I'm going to take off one edge of my brown paper. And I like to keep the second one on because it, you know, keeps it's safe and doesn't let the acrylic get scratched on the side that I'm not using currently. And I like to use these little cups and, you know, to give me something to kind of put my piece on. Now, what I'm thinking is I might like do this in a few different swipes and then put it under for just like a minute at a time, because gel nail polish is meant to be, you know, like they do it very thin. So I'm thinking if I do it too thick, it's going to have like a hard time drying quickly. It would probably take quite some time. So just sort of my thought. And I feel like I'll get a good look like sort of doing it that way. So I'm just going to do a swish and a swish. Now I'm going to put this under and then I'll come back and, you know, put another layer, at least one more, maybe two. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to stick that under. We'll go for a minute and then we'll come back and kind of see how that looks. Okay, so let's pull this out and see how we're doing. Oh yeah, okay. A little sticky still, but not too bad. And that was only a minute. It might not have even honestly been quite a minute. I want some, because I want it to also sort of look like that faded look on the other side. All right. So I think since this is the last one, I actually am only going to do 2 swipes because that's really plenty. So I'm going to put this back under and I'll probably put it under for like 2 minutes and then come back. All right. So when I came back in 2 minutes, this was still a little sticky. And again, I think because gel nail polish is meant to be super thin, right? And super thin coats. But I put it back under, I walked away. So honestly, it's probably been under 10 minutes now. I don't know at what point, well, okay, yeah, it's dry. I just don't know at what point it actually dried. But still, I mean, it's nice because it takes a little bit for paint to dry too. And if you're doing it with vinyl, you got to have the color. It takes, you know, you got to have vinyl that works for you and you still got to cut it, whatever. So just depending on what works. You might have, you know, some gel nail polish at home that you don't use. Now, and also you can get it at the Dollar Tree. I don't know how good that gel nail polish is. I've never used it. And if this turns out good, maybe I'll get some and see. Okay, yeah, so that looks good. Now, I normally use like a fan brush when I'm putting my paint swipes on for this. So I could technically like put it in like a little dish like this and then swipe it on, and that would probably be better. But this is just about seeing, you know, does it work? So now let's do some little hearts. I only want the little clear ones. And I'm using my Resin Rockers UV resin. So the whole thing with this video really was to see if the gel nail polish would work, and it does. So I'll probably pick up
honestly, I'll probably pick up some from the Dollar Tree. And see if that works. I should have just put some stuff on. These things are so big. I should have just put, I wasn't thinking. I should have just put my my UV resin on and then just, you know, place these after. I didn't need to mix them up like that. It's not like it's glitter. So did you guys have a good New Year's Eve, I hope, and a good New Year's Day? I worked a 12-hour shift in triage on Saturday and on Sunday. It was good. A lot of people don't like triage because it can be very nerve-wracking, you know? But I've been doing it for so long that it really doesn't bother me. And I like to be out there, you know, because I have a good understanding of what's going on out there. And, you know, I like to be able to just let people know that they're important and, you know, kind of help them calm their fears because, you know, I mean, it's nerve-wracking going to the emergency department and you don't always know what to expect. And, you know, sometimes like you get people that have like never been and they're like just really, really nervous, you know? So I like it. I like, you know, and I know how it feels to walk in nervous and not have somebody be understanding to, you know, how you're feeling. You know what I mean? We had to take my little grandson actually. All right, so we went to see ice at Gaylord Palms in Orlando. They make like all these like really cool ice sculptures and slides and whatever. And this year's theme was the Grinch, and you guys know my grandson loves the Grinch. So we took the two littles to see ice, and afterwards we went to eat. We were at a restaurant in the Gaylord Palms, and the whole thing was just sort of weird. Like they did this makeshift table, and I know it's because they're so busy, but at first they were trying to put us at a bar high top with two little kids. So then they made this makeshift table, and it was like in the middle and in the way. And so my grandson, the 3-year-old, the little one was in a high chair, but the 3-year-old was in his chair, just minding his own business, watching his little television, watching dinosaurs. And he had a fork in his hand. And some lady walked by, and she didn't mean to, but she bumped his leg, and it knocked him out of the chair. And he landed on the fork. So he got 5 stitches. And of course, you know, my daughter, even though we're going to one of my emergency departments and people that I know, and, you know, my friend who's one of the mid-levels, he stayed back just so that he could do his suturing for me. And, you know, so I'm very fortunate that I have that. But even then, like, I mean, she was still an absolute mess. So I think it's so important to, you know, be able to calm people's fears and whatever, especially, you know, when it's really busy and you got to wait and stuff. It's, you know, I think people feel better when you're able to like check on them again and just, you know, assure them that they're going to get seen and that everything is honestly okay, you know? All right, so I like this. I think this is really cute. All right, so I think that nail polish works really well as the paint on the underside. All right, so I'm gonna put this under, I'm gonna make a initial and then be back. All right, we've been right about 4 minutes. I mean, okay, yeah, that's all good. I'm just gonna put an L on this. Oh. That's good. That's pretty. I'll put the same color here. I'm gonna put a little bit more UV in here because I made it a little darker than I wanted. But I'll use this same color in my badge reel to, you know, do the buttons. Put a little more glitter than I wanted. That's all right. That's all good. Now I'm going to add some more glitter to make this thicker now. Try to keep it away from the light. I'm really bad about getting my stuff close to the light, and you gotta be careful because you ruin it. Make sure everything works. And I've already checked and made sure everything closed, but now I'm gonna close them anyways because, all right. So now I'm just gonna put this on my toothpick and fill it in like a nice little bling. And I like to hold it under for a minute before I put it under. That way it doesn't move. All right. I went ahead and did the other side just because, you know, you see one done, you see them both done. And this has been done for a while, but I just went ahead and left it under while I was doing that. All right, so this turned out super cute. And so now I'm going to apply this to here. And I'm going to put some UV resin on it. And then after I put it on, I'm going to hold it under again for just a few minutes to make sure it tacks on well, because you know, I want it to be even. So again, my resin rockers. I love this. I've been given some names of some other ones that people say I should try, and I'm going to. I just, not until I'm out of what I'm using, though. And I just want to make sure that I'm even. It always sucks when your thing is just a little bit like off from how you want it. All right. So now I'm just going to hold it under for a few minutes and then I'll set it down. All right, so all done. I think my glitter makes it so that it's a little bit harder to see the gray on there, but like in person I can see it really good. And of course, you know, I did my little beads, but here is the finished product, and I really like the way it turned out. Super cute. So this will be my Valentine's Day badge reel. All right, guys, have a blessed and beautiful day. If you haven't already done so, hit subscribe, and if you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. Bye, friends.